The year 2022 has come to an end. With that has also ended this very special holiday barbecue series of mine. But you shouldn't worry because I have two recipes in today's episode. The first one is khade masale ka chicken and the second one is bhatti da murg. Let's begin. Let's begin with the first recipe and that is khade masale ka murg. For that, I'm not going to use ground spices, but I'm going to use whole spices, whole ingredients literally, and chicken which is curry cut. Let's begin. First things first, a pan on an open barbecue, and to this add in oil. Now in this case I'm using a combination of vegetable oil and mustard oil. Adding in vegetable oil. To this I'm going to add in a combination of a lot of whole spices, in this case bay leaves, whole red chilies, cinnamon stick, mace, star anise, peppercorns, green cardamom, black cardamom, cumin, and I think that's about it. Once the whole spices begin to splutter, I'm going to add in white onions whole. I'm going to throw in some cloves of garlic, peeled of course, ginger which is freshly crushed. And if you're fond of ginger flakes or ginger juliennes or just pieces of ginger, that's also absolutely fine. Let's mix all of this together. Once the red chilies begin to bloom and the onions begin to caramelize, the next ingredient that goes in, chicken curry cut. And add in salt as required. The next ingredient that goes in, cherry tomatoes. Well, you can also use whole tomatoes, but I need cherry tomatoes. Just go well with this. As many, as little, choice is completely yours. The whole idea here is to not make it like a onion tomato gravy. You know, when you have like a pav or a sliced bread or breads of the world, you need to dab it, mash the vegetables, in this case of course the onions and the tomatoes, and then look at all the juices and the oils in this recipe. And that's why I thought I must show this recipe to you. Let's give this a quick stir. And now is the time to allow the chicken to cook along with all the vegetables. In goes some water. Now, in case you want this recipe almost like a dry roasted starter, avoid the water, just use splashes of water and that's about it. But the idea here is to ensure that this is eaten with a bread or with rice. Again, the choice is completely yours. Allow this to cook for at least 15 minutes. Let's move on to the next recipe and that is bhatti da murg. Very simple recipe. I've taken 2 chicken legs. Let's cut the leg piece in a very different way. When I say different, I mean the way a tandooriya or the chef or a cook who works at the tandoor section would cut this. I'm going to open up the bone literally like so. And while doing that, I'm also going to cut it slightly here so that the bone just kind of gets exposed. Now this way, the meat cooks very well right to the bone. Now if you realize and notice, the bone is seen from one side and from the other side, it's still kind of intact. And along with this, I'm also going to give it a few gashes on the face of it. Let's begin the marination. First things first, curd in a large bowl. Well, bhatti da murg predominantly has a very strong flavor of garam masala. When I say strong flavor, I mean a very nuanced flavor of garam masala. And this garam masala is freshly ground. Along with this, there are also rose petals in the masala. But in this case, I'm not using rose petals. Instead of that, I'm using rose water. But to begin with, mustard oil. Garam masala powder, like I said, a little more than what you would otherwise expect. A touch of red chili powder for that lovely color and aroma in this recipe. Paste of ginger and garlic. Rose water, like I just spoke about. Juice of half a lemon. Ensure you collect all the seeds because you do not want bitter surprises in your mouth. And last but not the least, salt as required. Let's mix this well till the marination is literally lump free. While the marination is getting ready, let's quickly have a look at where the chicken is faring. Allow this to cook. It's getting cooked beautifully, and that's exactly how we want it. While this is done, let's quickly add in the pieces of chicken, which are slit, gashed, and kept ready. Our chicken is getting marinated here. Now, if you have some time at hand, you can refrigerate this, keep this for 5-6 hours. Make this actually in the afternoon so that when your guests come in the evening, you can actually freshly barbecue and serve this to them. You can also make this a day prior, keep this overnight refrigerated, covered nicely, and then of course, you can grill them as fresh as you can. I do not have time, I have no patience. I'm going to wash my hands and skewer these right away. Now, just before I'm going to put this on the skewer, I'm going to add in some roasted gram flour into this marination so that all of this clings nicely onto the chicken. Also remember the fact that this recipe calls for rose water. If you think you will not like the flavor, you can avoid it. But before avoiding, in my personal humble opinion, give this recipe a try the way it is. You'll thank me later. Our khade masale ka chicken is cooked beautifully. The bone has literally released from the meat. The onions have become nice and soft. The tomatoes are almost squishy but still kind of holding shape. Let's quickly have a taste. With all the beautiful nuances of garam masalas, they've all opened up in terms of their flavor. Beautiful to begin with. Have this with rice, have this with bread, have this just like that, like a bowl of stew, and you can thank me later. The bhatti da murg, of course, is getting grilled, it's getting barbecued beautifully. Keep flipping the sides, keep basting it with a little oil, and keep in your prayers. 2022 is almost wrapped up. 2023 is here to begin. Wait for what next the Bombay chef gets into your kitchen. Bye for now.